Hello and welcome to Books of Blood. My name is John, and today I've got a review of Meddling Kids by Edgar Cantero. So, this one was one that I was kind of apprehensive about reviewing because when I announced with my July TBR that I was going to be reading this book, I had a lot of people commenting about how awesome the book is. How they just could not wait to hear my thoughts on it and everything. So I hope I don't disappoint. Alright? So Meddling Kids is basically about a group of kids. Peter, Andy, Carrie, Nate, and their dog Sean. Alright? So years ago, they were known as I think it was Brighton Falls Detective Club or something like that. But anyway, they were this little detective club back when they were kids. And they were responsible for the capture of the Sleepy Lake Monster. Alright? So now you cut to modern times. Alright? It is nowadays. It is the present. The here and now. Alright? So they've grown up. Andy has been Andrea. Andy is a girl. Andy is about probably 21 or 22 as we begin the story. Anyway, she is all grown up. She has busted out of jail. And she is on her way back to the town where all of this happened. And I think it was Brighton Falls again. I apologize. I should have done my homework on the name of the town. I did read the book. I just don't remember the name of the town, all right? Anyway, so she tracks down the other one. So she tracks down Nate. She tracks down Carrie. And Nate, well, there's no Sean anymore, and Peter is dead. That's not a spoiler. Peter is dead. Peter died of an overdose, all right? So, anyway, and of course, like I said, there's no Sean. There's no Sean the dog. It is now Tim. Tim is a relative or a descendant of Sean, and he is a Weimaraner, all right? Anyway, so, Andy realizes that the guy they captured, the guy they thought was the Sleepy Lake Monster, that he actually didn't do it. So she gets the gang back together as the full-grown adult version of the Brighton Falls Detective Club, and they find out there's this whole big conspiracy with these underground creatures that are kind of like the Shoggoth from Lovecraft stories, and with this necromancer, and he's wanting to reincarnate, do all kinds of reincarnations and all kinds of funky weird spells. So it's up to them to stop this once again, and also to stop the rise of this Lovecraftian creature known as Satogawa or something like that. I can't pronounce it, alright? Anyway, that is the gist of the story. That is the gist of Meddling Kids. And as you can tell by the title, it's kind of a mix of Scooby-Doo and Lovecraftian or cosmic horror, so to speak. All right? Now, let me tell you about the things I liked about the story, and I will tell you about the one big thing that I did not like about this story, okay? So the things I liked about the story, I liked the characters. Like I said, this thing is pretty much Scooby-Doo meets Cthulhu or something like that, all right? And you can pretty well tell which characters were supposed to be representative of the characters from the old Scooby-Doo TV series. Of course, Tim was Scooby. Nate would more than likely be Shaggy. Carrie would more than likely be Daphne because Carrie has this beautiful red hair. And then Andy, who is actually in love with Carrie, would be Velma. Never saw that coming in a mile away or anything like that, but that's the way it would be. Peter would be Freddy if Peter were still alive, because Peter was a movie star and pretty much this big actor and stuff, and you always got that from Freddy. You always got the impression that Freddy was like some kind of actor, or he was a pompous ass. I mean, we know that. Let's just put it that way, okay? Anyway, I love that. I love that part of it. I love that nostalgia, that little memory thing. And there's some pretty funny moments in this book, especially when they break Nate out of this mental hospital that he has checked himself into. I enjoyed all of that. I enjoyed the story. But the big thing that I hated, and the thing that brings us down from a 5-star book to a 3-star book, is the pacing. Okay? Now, I read this on my Kindle. But I read it on my Kindle, and there's 5 chapters. I believe there are 5 chapters. And each chapter, if you look on your Kindle and you see where it tells you how many hours are left, one of the chapters one of them said 2 hours and so many minutes. I don't know exact amount. 2 hours left in this chapter. Another one was 1 hour and 35 minutes. Another was 1 hour and 20 minutes or something like that. The chapters were just too damn long. It's like, why did Edgar Cantero not break these chapters down? There was so much action in this book, but because it was such long chapters, I felt like it felt like it was running to stand still. All right? That's what it felt like. The pacing of this, like, it was breakneck pace and as directed by a snail. All right? I hated it. I just freaking hated it. I could not. I'm like, oh my God, get through this damn chapter. All right? I'm like, I'm loving this book and I'm hating this pacing. So it just brought it down for me. So I know a lot of people are going to sit there and go, well, that you had a reason for the pacing. What was the reason? I don't know. Okay? Anyway, that is pretty much my review of Meddling, kids. And, and that's it. 3 stars. Alright? Love the story. Hated the pacing. Love the characters. Hated the pacing. Alright? So that's going to do it. And I'll post this pretty soon. So thank you guys for watching. And have a wonderful evening. Bye-bye.